What's up, 2020? This is Tomas Ramirez from Positivegainstraining. This is Impact Beyond the Weights. Based on what I'm wearing, I think it might be pretty obvious what we're going to talk about. That's right, it's you. 2020, congratulations. But for me personally, it's been 10 years since I put on this cap and this gown. I know that this year has been very, very different than any years past, especially for you guys graduating. But nonetheless, we want to take this time to congratulate you guys and just give you the honor that you guys deserve as you guys put in the hard work through this time period of your lives and this stepping stone of your life. And for me personally, the best thing that I feel like a gift would be unto you is wisdom and advice as you take it from somebody who's been in your shoes. So for this next couple of moments here, I don't want you to see me as just Tomas. I want you to see me as like a big brother figure. So I personally graduated in June of 2010. I graduated from Southgate Anderson, which is in Southgate, Michigan. And high school for me was definitely a different period. You know, I look back to where I am now versus how I was, my whole character in high school. You know, I dressed differently, I talked differently, I hung out with certain specific group of people. You know, I was always cool with everybody. You know, I didn't really have any prejudices or biases towards anybody, but we all naturally click with certain people. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together. It's a true statement. We always in our nature flock to those that resemble us, act like us, talk like us, have the same interests. It's just natural. I did do clubs. I was in the Big Brother club. I did the Spanish club. I did play football for 2 years, but my senior year I quit because I didn't like the coach that they just put in. And I was too busy chasing things that really didn't matter at that time. I don't want to make it sound like I have regrets or like if I could go back, I would change things, because I wouldn't. Because all those things helped me to become relevant to people around me or help me to mature in areas that helped me to become more successful. I just realized that during those times, I just wasn't the smartest or I wasn't the wisest. You know, I was full of anger. I was very, very prideful, very, very self-centered, and chasing girls. I was very, very girl crazy. You know, I experimented with sex during this time period, drinking, smoking, you know, just doing the crazy teenager thing. My favorite class besides lunch is probably forensics. I took forensics in high school, and it was very, very interesting to me. At the end of the class, we had to do this final project where our teacher set up a crime scene, went out to the greenhouse and everything. So it was pretty sweet. And of course, I love gym. Gym's a no-brainer. My least successful class in high school is definitely geometry. I sucked in geometry. Geometry was my first C that I ever got in my entire life. One of my greatest memories in high school, it probably isn't very, very good, but it just like stuck to me. It was crazy. It was like my second or third day in Southgate. And there was like this huge race fight. Like I remember coming outside and there was like all the blacks and Latinos on this side and there was all the white guys on this side. And it was like they were about to go at it. Like that was just crazy. I was like, where am I at? Like it was just nuts. Like I would never expect this coming from Southgate. All right, big brother mode. So my 3 pieces of advice. My first one is to plan/envision. Plan what you want your future to look like. You know, there's nothing wrong with sitting down, taking a piece of paper and planning and envision, you know, what do you want to do with your life and how can I get there? You know, it's taking a stepping stone. You may not know exactly what you're going to do in 5 years or anything like that, but at least get a 1 year or 2 year, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to go to college? Do I not want to go to college? You know, what are my interests? You know, just be detailed. Figure out what it is that you genuinely like. So planning, because planning will help you to set stones or set goals on what you want to do and how is it going to get there. You know, me as a personal trainer, my clients will come in with these big, huge goals. I want to lose 80 pounds, but it's always the small stepping stones that we have to accomplish first. Because yeah, 80 pounds is that super big goal, but it's not just going to happen overnight. You know, there's some patterns in your life that you need to break, or that need to be changed, or need to be substituted. You know, never just take away without replacing. And then Envision, it's like a batter in the batter's box. If he goes up there thinking that he's going to strike out, chances are he's going to strike out. But if he goes up there seeing himself and believing in him or herself that they're going to hit the ball, then they're more prone to hit the ball. You know, so if you already have a defeated mindset, then you're never going to make it anywhere because you can't see yourself doing it. And again, being a personal trainer, ask my clients, can you see yourself actually doing this? Can you see yourself achieving the goals that you really want? Because if you can't, then you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your effort, and nobody wants that. So your mindset, your psyche is so powerful in the things that you do. You know, if you're already defeated, then you're not going to make it anywhere or be the person or set the goals or accomplish those goals that you want. My next brotherly piece of advice is contentment. Contentment is not something that comes natural. Contentment is something that we learn. Contentment is basically, I don't want to say being complacent, but it's being happy or stable with what you have now, but working towards where you want to be or what you want to have. You know, it's not being jealous of others. It's not looking at others and wishing you had what they had or anything like that, because that's one thing that really played into my life for a period of time, was being discontent and comparing myself to others. Looking at others, my peers who I graduated with, and seeing how successful they are, seeing how they're, you know, already moved out, or seeing how they're driving these specific cars, or married and have kids and their job is just A1. And it's just like, you know, in high school, yeah, I could have done a little bit better as far as like my academics go. You know, I could have started to do those college classes. So if you're taking college classes in high school, keep it up. But I could have done that, but I didn't, because I was, again, too focused elsewhere. I was too busy living in the moment and not thinking about my future. You know, I didn't take my future seriously. Comparing yourself and just looking at your situation and wishing you had someone else's life is a big robber of your joy. It'll lead you into depression. It could lead you into suicide thoughts. You know, you don't want that. You don't want to compare yourself to anybody else, because you're you. You know, God made you who you are for a specific purpose, to fulfill a specific thing that only you can do. My last, but definitely not my last, brotherly advice would be invest. Invest in you, invest in others, and of course, invest in your relationship with God. So investing in you, you know, is keeping yourself healthy, keeping yourself out of stress. You know, do those things that are good, that help you to stay stress-free. I have a tendency to overwork myself at times, and I get all worked up, you know, trying to accommodate others or trying to be the best trainer that I can, and, you know, being super flexible in my schedule, but I never took the time to really help myself. You know, you can't really help anybody else if you're not helping yourself and your mental and your health and all that. Make sure you find time to invest in yourself and to do things that you enjoy, and, you know, not just always work and trying to get rich, because all that will come to an end. I mean, this quarantine, this coronavirus changed everything within one whole day. So, you know, trying to chase all the wealth, trying to get rich fast is all meaningless, because at the end of the day, your whole life can change within a moment's of time. Now, investing in others doesn't always mean, you know, you're sending them money or anything like that. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just invest your time. Referring back to this coronavirus, things change within a short period of time, and, you know, what our normal was just taken away, and now we're going to have a new normal. You know, so invest in your time. You don't want to ever look back with regrets and like, man, I wish I did this more. I wish I hung out with this person more, or, I wish I'd done that, because, time goes by so fast. I know that you're young and you think that you just got a whole bunch of time, but let me tell you, that time will go by so fast. Before you know it, you'll be in my shoes making a live video for 2030, and you're like, man, I remember when Tomas told me that. So it's so true, invest in others. And sometimes that does mean invest your finances into others. There's nothing wrong with being a giver. If any of you are business minded, let me tell you, love people and don't be afraid to give or to invest. Always treat people how you would want to be treated. That's a genuine statement. I know people blow that out of proportion, and Jesus actually said that first, but it's so true. If you have that mindset of, I'm going to treat people, I'm going to give to people how I'd want somebody to give to me, it'd change your whole world when you truly grasp that. Lastly, without preaching, invest in your relationship with God. I was a whole completely different person in high school. Like I said, selfish, arrogant, just hard-hearted, just chasing women, and just completely lost. My relationship with God has helped me to become more mature, and it's definitely helped me to become more successful. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm just this perfect little angel, because Lord knows I still have my own struggles. I still have my own battles as well, and I always will. But at the end of the day, I'm not by myself. So for those of you who feel like you're by yourself, those who feel like you're lonely, I know what you're talking about. Those who feel like you don't have anybody, or you don't have a good relationship with your parents, I know what you're talking about. You always have God by your side. You may not be living that lifestyle, but trust me, He loves you enough that He will find you right where you are, doing whatever it is that may be completely contrary to what He stands for. It's completely contrary to what He considers good, and He'll love on you, and He'll take you from where you are to become a better person who you were made to be. A little reflection from Big Brother Tomas. Number one, plan and envision. Again, you want to plan where you're going, write it down in detail. You don't have to know 5 years from now, but at least have some type of idea. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is my niche, or what sets me apart. And this is what I'm going to pursue. And see yourself doing that. Your mentality, your mindset, what you feel about yourself or think about yourself is going to carry you to either the successes you want, or you're never going to get started, because you're going to be so fearful or so defeated that you're never going to try to pursue it. Next one is be content, or don't compare yourself. Someone's always going to be better than you, but you don't know the battles that they're facing. People only post on social media what they want you to see. You don't know if they're having depression. You don't know if they have suicidal thoughts. You don't know if they're fighting with whoever. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. So don't just buy into what you see on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, because that's usually not a true reality. People, again, only show you the good times, but they don't want to show you the bad times. Lastly, invest. Invest in yourself. Make sure, I don't want to take that out of proportion and think that, it's just you and nobody else, just all about me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take care of you. If you're stressed, release, find a good stress release. For me personally, it's hitting the gym, doing some push-ups, hitting the bench press, doing some pull-ups, hitting some legs, whatever. That's my stress release, or spending time in prayer, whatever the case may be. Just let it be beneficial. Invest in others. Be a team player, especially if you're a business mindset. Be a team player. Loving people will take you a long way. If you're a person who says that you don't love people, or you just can't stand people, I can kind of get it. We're all flawed. Nobody's perfect. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get very far with that type of mentality, because we need people. We need each other to be able to do the things that we do. And then last and most importantly, invest in a relationship with God. Getting to know Him, the person who created you, and getting to know what your purpose is in life. And He will open up doors that nobody else can open, and He'll be with you when it seems like there's nobody there. And He'll change you for the good, not for the bad. Never to harm you, just to mature you, and to just help you have a most successful life that you can. So again, within 10 years, I done learned so much about myself, so much about life, and there's so much more for me personally to learn. You know, I'm 28 years old and I don't know it all, and I'm humble enough to say that. So again, pursue your dreams, the things that I lay down, I feel like are good foundations for you. You know, don't give up. Things are not always going to go your way, and when they don't, that's when you find out who you really are. You know, in times of trouble is when you grow. I just want to thank you guys again for this time. Hopefully I didn't talk too much, because again, I could just keep going on and on and on. I'm very passionate about it, and I hope this inspires you. You know, I know not everybody's going to take my advice to heart, but for those of you that do, contact me and just let me know later on in life, like, hey man, I watched your video and thank you for the advice. So I want to give a special shout out to my sister, Jordan, and to my cousin, Gabe, who graduated in 2020. I know, again, it's a little bit different for you guys because you guys aren't walking across the stage, but I still give you guys mad props because you guys made it. Big stepping stone in your life, but don't slow down, just keep going. So 2020, my cap, this is for you guys. Congratulations. One last hoorah. Thank you guys again for watching. This was Tomas Ramirez from PositiveGainstraining. This was Impact Beyond the Weights. Congratulations again to 2020. I hope you guys found my advice very helpful, but 010 does it better, baby.